All right, guys, we are back online. So we're going to get going with lesson 3 for 7-6 math. What I would like you to do first before you start taking your notes is I would like you to go through, so on page 12, go through questions A through F, mental math. So letter A, you're going to be adding 3,000 plus 4,000. Letter B, you're going to be adding 600 plus 2,000, so on and so forth. So you don't need to take notes for this part. Just go ahead, and this is the mental math part. Okay? So our new concept here. So we are going to be doing missing numbers in addition and missing numbers in subtraction. So example 1 here. So make sure you have your notes as you're watching this here. Okay, so get out your notebook. Write lesson 3 at the very top, taking T-chart notes. So example number 1. Okay, so find the number for M. And if I'm going too fast at any point, just remember you can pause at any time. Okay, example 1, we have 12 plus M equals 31. Okay, so how do we find what M is? So that value right there, what is M? We do not know this. Okay, so one way we can do it is we can take 31, subtract it from 12, and that will give us our value M. That'll give us our hidden value, and then we'll check just to make sure we got it right at the end. So first off, 1 minus 2, can't do that, so we're going to borrow from 3. We have a 2, and this 1 is now an 11. So 11 minus 2, we have 9, and then 2 minus 1, we have 1. So our value should be 19. Now we're going to check it. So if you're trying to follow along in your book, we're on page 12 and 13. So we're going to try and check that. So I'm going to do that with blue. So we're going to plug that 19 value in for M. So 12 plus 19, which is the answer we just got. So 9 plus 2, that's 11. And then 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's going to be 31. So does that match that number right there? Yes, it does. So we got that answer right. So 19 is our value for M. Okay, so that's example number 1. Pause you if you need to. We're going to now move on to example number 2. Okay, so example number 2, we have 35 plus 17 plus 5 plus N plus 64. So our missing value is that variable right there. Oops, I don't want to do that in black. Do it in yellow. So our missing value is right there, letter N. So how are we going to do this? Well, our first step is we need to make this problem look a little bit more like example 1. So we are going to add together these 3 numbers, 35, 17, and 5. So first, I'm going to do that by adding 35 plus 17, 35 plus 17. Break it down a little bit. So we're going to take first in the first column, 5 plus 7, that's going to be 12. Then I'm going to take 1 plus 3 plus 1, that's going to give us 5. So my answer is 52. Then I need to add this 5 right here. So I'm going to take 52 plus 5. So I'm going to take 5 plus 2, that's 7. Bring down the 5, we have 57. Okay. Did I mess up somewhere? Oh, so the example in your book, we have 36 instead of 35. So that's okay. Okay, so 57 plus N equals 64. Now from here, this is the same problem as example 1. So step number 2, we are going to take, we're going to just rearrange the problem. So we're going to take 64 minus 57 equals n. Okay, so how many times does 7 go into 4? It doesn't, so I need to borrow from that 6. That 6 is now a 5, and my 4 is now a 14. So 14 minus 7 is 7. 5 minus 5, that's just going to be 0. So my n value should be 7. We're going to check just to make sure. So go ahead and try and check it on your own, just to make sure we got it right, while I erase everything on the board that we have here so far. Okay, so we said our answer was 7. Let's try that. If you need to, you can pause at any time. So I'm going to take 35 plus 17. And what's that going to be? We found that I'm going to just do it again. So 35 plus 17, 7 plus 5, we got 12. 1 plus 1 plus 3, that's 52. Now I'm going to take 52 plus 5, because that 5 is brought straight down. And then this 7 is going to be brought straight down. And hopefully our answer is going to be 64. So 52 plus 5, that's 57. Add 7, that's going to give me 64. Does that match my value of 64 right here? 64, 64. That looks good. So 7 is the correct answer. So n is going to equal 7. Okay. Now we have 2 more examples, example 3 and example 4. So example 3 says, find the number for w. Okay. So let's get that written out here. Okay, so right here we have w minus 16 equals 24. So this is the same problem that we've been doing, except now we're using subtraction instead of addition. So to find our value of w, we need to do something a little bit different. So this value right here, w, we need to do something a little bit different. So now we need to add, so since we're using subtraction, we're going to use addition. So we're going to add 24 plus 16. If you're following along in your book, we are on the top of page 14. Okay, so we're going to take 24 plus 16. Okay, and that will give us the value, the missing value of w. So 4 plus 6, that's going to give me 10. Now I have 1 plus 2 plus 1, and that's going to give me 4. So 40 equals w. So let's check to make sure that's a true statement. So I'm going to plug 40 in for w. So 40 minus 60, and we're going to hope that's 24. If it's 24, we got the right answer. So how many times does 6 go into 0? It doesn't. So I'm going to borrow from the 4 and turn that into a 3. So 10 minus 6, we have 4. 3 minus 1, we have 2. So our answer is correct. So w equals 40. Okay, so that's example 3 right there. All right, so now let's move on to example 4. All right, example 4. We're on page 14, about halfway down the page, example 4. So with this problem, we have 236 minus y equals 152. So we're doing the same thing. We are finding our missing value of y. So I'm gonna highlight that. So we're trying to find out what does y equal. So we need to rearrange this problem into a different problem. So this one's a little different. 236 is our first value, y is our second value, and then 152 is our last value. So we don't just add these two together. We need to do something different. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 236 and subtract it from 152. And then we'll check ourselves to make sure we got it right. 236 minus 152, and that'll give us our y value. So 6 minus 2 equals 4. How many times does 5 go into 3? It does not. So we're going to borrow from the 2 right next to it. So 13 goes into 5, or 5 goes into 13 8 times, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. So 84, okay, is going to equal y. Now let's check ourselves. So to check ourselves, we're going to take 236 minus that value we just got, which is 84. And we're going to hope we got 152. And if we did, we got the right answer. So 6 minus 4 equals 2. How many times does 8 go into 3? It does not. We got to change that into a 13, and that is now a 1. 13 minus 8 is 5, and bring the 1 down, 152. So 152 matches 152. So our answer is correct. 84 equals y. Okay, so if you had any issues with any of those, you can re-watch certain parts of the video, look at it for yourself in the book, or you can always email me and I can help you with any other questions that you have. So now we're going to do the homework. So go to your Google Classroom. Go to Google Classroom, and if you don't have it yet, you can email me and I can show you how to do it. So we are on week number 2, so 7-6 math. We are on week 1. Week 1 was last week. We are, so Monday, September 14th, no school, because no school for bad air quality. So that's essentially a snow day. So no school, no homework that day. But today, Tuesday, September 15th, we have homework. Okay, so you did your mental math. You did all the problem solving, which is what we just did, example 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there was no vocab within this lesson. So we did all those examples. Now you have your homework. Homework is on page 14 to page 16 in your math textbook. Do problems A through I. So do all of those, A through I, the letters, and then numbers 1 through 29 odd. Okay, so go through those. You can turn them in by bringing them to school, to the front office, or you can turn them in by scanning them and emailing them to me. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, email me, post a message here on Google Classroom, and I will help you out in any way I can. All right, guys, hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. Bye.